Every property show on TV, Homes Under the Hammer, Location, Property Ladder, all of them, they're teaching you very effectively how to lose money, and lots of it. Now, they're not doing this on purpose, but the model they show you has cost ordinary people tens of thousands of pounds. And I'll prove it to you in the next few minutes. Now, just ask yourself, why have 1.5 million people watched Homes Under the Hammer every single week for 20 years? And almost nobody watching it has actually made any money from property, or at least not anything substantial. Why do the people on that show spend 60, 70, sometimes £100,000 on renovations and then walk away with what amounts to be pocket change? And if all the profits are that low, why do they keep making the show? Well, I'll answer all three before this video is finished. Now, for context, I've been flipping properties for 26 years, and I've watched people come to me after following exactly what they saw on the telly, following it to the letter, and they've either broke even or worse, they've lost money. So in this video, I'm going to show you what the TV shows get completely wrong about property flipping, and I'm also going to show you the system that works and what that looks like. I'm going to look at the real numbers, not the ones they show you after the credits roll. So here's what the TV formula actually looks like in practice. So somebody buys a wreck at an auction. They strip it back, put in a new kitchen or a new bathroom. They might knock down a few walls. They spend thousands of pounds on renovation, and then what happens next? 6 months later, sometimes a year later, they sell it. And this is the important bit here. If they're lucky, they make 15, maybe 20 grand. Sometimes they break even. And sometimes they lose money and they don't explain why. And then there's a little expert at the end who says things like, well, the market was challenging, or the renovation ran over budget. And then the credits roll. So there you are, sitting on your sofa, watching people do what you think you want to do. But then run the numbers, scratch your head, and you're left wondering, well, is there even any money in property? So look, here's the thing nobody says. So while the credits are rolling, that model, the gut-eaten hope model, it's not a strategy. It's gambling. I tell people you might as well take out your savings and walk down to the casino. Your odds are roughly the same. And the reason it's gambling is simple. When you buy a property at or near market value, and then you spend more money on it, and then you hope it sells for more than you spent, then that's gambling. You've stacked risk on top of risk. You're hoping that the market goes up. You're hoping that the refurb doesn't run over. You're hoping that the buyer comes along before your bridging interest eats your margin. So why do people do this? And more importantly, how can you call that investing? The honest answer is you can't. Because your entire strategy, if you can really call it a strategy, is built on hope. And the problem is, because we've all watched this on television since we were kids, it's just become the norm. It's become the default picture of what property flipping looks like. So when people come to me and say, Nick, I want to flip properties, 9 times out of 10, this is the model that they've got in their head. And the very first thing I have to do is undo it. So now for the fun part. I want to show you how expensive this misconception really is. Because we're not talking about a small difference between two approaches. We're talking about the difference between making 40, 50, 60,000 pounds on a deal and losing £20,000 on the same deal. It could wipe them out for years. So here's the scenario the TV shows normalise. You find a property, let's say it's listed at £180,000. You do your research and decide that it's worth about £195 if it was in good condition. So you think, right, I'll buy it, I'll do it up, and I'll sell it for £195. Now, maybe you get a small discount. Let's say you pay £170,000. Then you start the refurb. Your budget, say, 12 grand. It runs to 18. It always does, by the way. And then how many times are there just more things that you want to do on the property, right? So you're 5 months in now. Your bridging is ticking. You've spent £188,000 all in. You sell it for £195,000. After agent fees, legal fees, stamp duty, bridging interest, you've made somewhere around nothing. Okay, to be fair, maybe you've made a few £1,000s. But the point is, realistically, it might be less. For 5 months of stress, 200 calls to a builder who went quiet for 3 weeks, and £50,000 of your own capital tied up. That's the reality that they don't show you after the credits. And I'm not saying this to be harsh about these programs. They make great television. I love watching them. One of my students was actually featured on them. But great television and a replicable investing strategy are two completely different things. Now, here's what I want you to know, and this is a real question you should ask yourself. How many people right now watching this have had a version of that experience? Maybe not a full-blown loss, but maybe a deal that didn't return what you thought it would. Or you watched someone else go through it. Or you've been thinking about flipping, but something's been holding you back and you couldn't quite put your finger on it. Now, I bet it's this. Somewhere in the back of your mind, you've absorbed the TV model. And some part of you knows that it doesn't quite add up, but there's too much uncertainty in it, too much that has to go right. And you're correct, there is. Now, the system I'm going to show you removes most of that uncertainty entirely. Not by being any smarter about renovations, and not by finding better builders, not by picking better locations, but by changing the question you're asking at the very start. The TV model asks, how much can I sell this for after I've done it up? My model asks a completely different question. How much profit have I already locked in before I even pick up a paintbrush? That's the whole thing. Right there. Profit is made on the buying, not the selling. So let me show you exactly what that means with a real number. So if I can find a property that's worth £180,000 on the open market and I can buy it for £130,000, then from the moment I sign the contract, I've just made £50,000 in equity. Let me say that again so it sinks in. Before I do anything to the property, £50,000 is locked in. Where's the hope in that? Well, there isn't any, because it's simple maths. I have that money the moment I sign. And now the question is, how do I unlock it? Now the TV brain immediately says, but Nick, nobody sells an £180,000 house for £130,000, right? And this is where most people stop, because they've never been shown why motivated sellers exist, how many of them are there, and how to find them. Here's why motivated sellers exist. So, people's lives don't stop for the property market. Divorce doesn't wait for interest rates to drop. Debt doesn't wait. A job relocation to another city or even another country doesn't wait. Probate doesn't wait. When someone passes away and the family needs to sell the estate, they often just need to get it gone quickly and cleanly. Now, these sellers don't have the luxury of holding out for full market value. They have a timeline, and what they're actually buying from you isn't just money, it's speed and certainty. And here's the thing that most people don't realize. These sellers are not hiding. They're on Rightmove right now, today. The signal is sitting time. Now, what I mean is this. A property that's been on the market for 60, 90, 120 days or maybe longer, and it's not selling. There's almost always a motivated seller behind that. Someone whose circumstances have changed, someone who needs out. So it's really quite simple. You find that property. Yeah, that's right. You find it. You make the right offer. You buy it at 15 to 25% below value, and you lock in the profit before you've done a single thing. Now I'll give you a real example. Terry, he found a property in Nottingham valued at £340,000. It hadn't sold and the seller was under pressure and needed a 28-day completion. Terry moved fast, and guess what? He bought it for £216,000. That's £124,000 below market value, locked in on day one. Before any work, before any decisions about kitchens or bathrooms or any of it. He walked away with £80,000 in equity after costs. And the best part is, this was without any gutting, without any 6-month renovations or any hoping. Now, when you've got that kind of margin locked in, then you do your light cosmetic work. Not structural and not a full major refurb. Not the kind that you see on the television. We're talking about fresh paint, new flooring, garden tidy up, changing the handles, updating the lighting, jet washing the drive, painting the outside, things that take weeks, not months, things that cost £3,000 to £10,000, not 50. Martin, one of my students, spent £3,000 on improvements and walked away with a £62,000 profit. £3,000. All he did was touch the garden front and back, tidied up the kitchen and put a partition wall across a bedroom upstairs to access the bathroom. £3,000, £62,000 profit. Now, what I hope you're realizing now is this. That's not because he or they were lucky. It's because the profit was already there in the purchase price. So the cosmetic work just unlocked it faster. And it makes perfect sense why the TV shows will never teach you this. The TV model is visual. Transformations are watchable. Before and afters. The dirty kitchen becoming the gleaming kitchen. Nobody's watching a program where the hero moment is somebody negotiating a £50,000 discount on a property that looks perfectly fine and doesn't need any work. But that quiet, unsexy moment, that negotiation, It's where all the real money is made. Now, if you're wondering, well, how can I find these day one profit properties? Where can I look right now to see if this is actually true? Well, it's simple. One option I've used over the past 2 decades is post-auction properties. So when a property goes to auction and it doesn't sell, which happens more than you think, something interesting has occurred. The seller has publicly revealed their reserve price. They've put their bottom line on the table and it didn't meet the market. Now, most people walk past that. They see unsold at auction and think, well, nobody wanted it. It must be a problem or there must be something wrong with it. But I see a completely different picture. I see motivated sellers who just told me that the number, the price that they'll accept. So what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to go in below that number because now I know they've been on the market. I know they've gone through the auction process and I know they've tried, and I also know that they're tired and they want this done. If it didn't sell at £138,000 guide price, I'm going to offer 100,000. Now, they'll probably counter offer me and come back at, let's say, 120, and I'll probably get it somewhere in the middle. And that property is likely worth 180 to 190,000 pound on the open market. That's another 60 to 70,000 pound locked in the moment I sign. Now, one of my students, Richard, did exactly this. He found a 3-bed that didn't sell at auction in September, bought it for 115,000 pound after the auction, spent 17,000 pound on a light cosmetic refurb. It's now listed at 225,000 pound. That's 55,000 pound net profit. And that one has been recorded for Homes Under the Hammer, which, and I love this, means that property bought using my method will eventually be shown on television as an example of the TV method. The irony is not lost on me. The other thing that most people don't know, and this one's important, is that geography doesn't really matter. Yep, that's right. Doesn't really matter where it is. People hear motivated sellers and immediately think, well, that must be up north where the prices are lower and properties are cheaper. Let me challenge that belief right now. Do people only get divorced in Yorkshire? Do people only die in Birmingham? Do people only relocate for work in Manchester? Of course they don't. Motivated sellers exist in every postcode in the UK. Angela is one of my students. She found her first deal in Surrey. £50,000 profit, completed in less than 4 months. Deals are everywhere. You just need to know what you're looking for. Now, full transparency, I'm human, so I didn't figure this out immediately. I made some mistakes. Before I had the system I'm describing to you, I tied up capital in long-term buy and hold deals that looked great on paper and took years to pay off. I did renovations that went 40% over budget. Nearly lost my shirt on some. I chased strategies that looked great on a spreadsheet but fell apart in the real world. I'm sure you've all seen them. And I lost time. I lost money, and I learned what not to do, which is honestly where most of the value in my teaching comes from. Not from the wins, the losses. Because when you've made the expensive mistakes, you know exactly which shortcuts aren't actually shortcuts and which ones are. Before all that, I was working in IT. I was earning a good salary, £120,000 a year as a IT consultant. Good money, stable, and completely unfree. I was trading every hour for a salary with no equity in anything, no control over what happened next. Now, I bought my first property in March 2000, 26 years ago. I've been through the 2008 crash, bought through it actually, which is where some of my best deals came from. I've been through booms, busts, high interest rates, low interest rates, COVID, and everything the market has thrown at the UK property market in the last quarter of a century. And the system works in all of them. Not because it relies on the market going up, but because it doesn't need to. When you've locked in 20 to 25% below market value on day one, the market can go sideways. Interest rates can move, a government can do unpredictable things, and you're still in profit. You still have margin. Now that margin is what the TV model never gives you. So here's where we are. The TV formula: buy at near value, renovate heavily, hope that the market does the rest. That's gambling. It's gambling with your capital, and it's gambling with your time. The real formula is find a motivated seller. Buy 15 to 25% below market value. Lock in the profit the day you sign. Day one. Do a light refurb and sell fast. That's it. That's the whole thing. The profit is in the purchase. The renovation, that just unlocks it. Now, my hope for you is that your dreams of becoming a property investor are not dead, but hopefully they're more alive than ever. I have people that have done more than one in less time, actually. But you really only need one to get started and one to change your life. So my wish to you is this: get out there and start flipping. Protect your downside by buying profit on day one. And I wish you the very best. Thanks for watching.